The Executive Director of O.L.M. I want to give you a special welcome, Minnesota welcome. First of all, we're going to welcome our guests. Please, if you're Minnesota, can you just stand? We're going to do a round of applause for our guests for being here today. Just stand, Minnesota, everybody, and just give a round of applause. Our guests, we'll get to know who they are at the appropriate time. But I want to welcome all of you for being here today. I think today is a special day that you take time to be here and listen and talk about the future of Liberia. I also want to take this time to recognize the board of directors of the organization of Liberia in Minnesota, in person of Ms. Japa, Mr. Charwale, and Mr. Harris, and of course our finance director of the organization, Mr. Bombo, and our ex-official chairman of the board. He's here. So welcome, sir, Mr. Zakama. Thank you again, and I'll turn this down over to our facilitators and we'll go through the rest of the program.
We have the money to do what they need to do. It's important that we achieve the vision, but it's also important that we follow the steps to achieving the vision. Now, I'll speak for another 10 minutes and we'll start talking. This medium-term expenditure framework is based on 5 pillars. The first pillar is peace, security, and rule of law. The second pillar is economic transformation. In the last PRS, we had economic revitalization. We're revitalizing our economy. Now we feel that we're getting to a point where the economy is picking up, so we want to transform the economy. The third pillar is human development. That's based on education, health, and so forth. The fourth pillar is governance and public institutions. We understand that governance is a huge issue in Liberia, not just from the top, but from like local governance, from the town chiefs, the superintendents, mayors, all that. So it's very important that we address the governance issues so that the country can move forward. Under governance also we're doing a lot on public sector reform, where we're reforming the civil society, reforming the various ministries and agencies, reviewing the mandates and the mandates and visions of all these ministries and agencies. Because we know that some ministries have mandates and functions to do certain things that they're not doing. Some of the functions are archaic that needs to be changed. So all those things are going on in governance and public institutions. And in the last development strategy, we realized that a lot of things were left out. And these are what we call cross-cutting issues. Under Pillar 5. There are things around gender equality, under youth employment, under labor, HIV and AIDS, and so forth. So those are the 5 pillars that the agenda is based on. And lastly, this agenda, unlike the last PRS, that was based on outputs, we are looking at outcomes. Now, that's the development words. What am I talking about? Output. Want to build a school in Belayard? Put a school there. Walk away. What has that school done for the community in Belayard? Has it increased female enrollment? Has it reduced the literacy rate? Those are the outcomes that we're looking at. So instead of just looking at the outputs of building a road from here to Belefana, we want to know if that road will improve markets, if it will improve access to education or healthcare or other things. So that's why this new agenda is really based on outcomes. We did what we call, we worked with the World Bank Institute to develop what we call a results-based framework. And we look at the constraints in the sector. So in healthcare, for instance, what are the constraints? Infant mortality, okay, that's an issue. Then we'll look at what is our goal? How do we address that problem of infant mortality? We'll look at our objectives, regular program management thing. But then we'll look at interventions. So I won't go further than that. I think probably I've explained the agenda well. It's called the Agenda for Transformation. That's our new development strategy for Liberia that we're writing. It's not done yet. We're still getting input from all over. The president says that we should include through action. It's important that Liberians know that if we do not work, nothing will get done. So it's the agenda for transformation through action. It's not called the PRS. Please do not call it PRS. And this is a 5-year medium-term development strategy that will support the 18-year vision. So I will stop there right now, and we'll open the floor for discussions.
Well, we could invite Dr. Dunn back for a few minutes.
Okay.
And then we open it up to
okay, and I will be very brief for these few minutes. Let me just tell you that I've been reading the reports from the regional consultations in Liberia and the district consultations in Liberia. So, you know, otherwise Liberian people have been speaking. And I've just jotted down some of the themes that have come up again and again. And I just thought to just mention some of those themes to you, just to give you a sense of how they are handling it, you know, there on the ground. One of the issues that recur over and over again are issues having to do with culture and what some may characterize as conflict of cultures. You know, in other words, things that are traditional to Liberia and things that have come from outside. For example, people are having problems nowadays trying to figure out how traditional institutions of the Koro and Sandy fit into modern Liberia. There's a heated debate going on that issue. Some have raised questions about human rights, international human rights, and conflict that those come into with certain traditional values. So those are some of the things, if you will, that are on people's mind. Obviously, the ubiquitous land issue comes up over and over again. I'm talking about the unresolved land problem, the fact that we have a lack of clarity when it comes to the principles upon which we operate when it comes to land. That is, the traditional principles versus the principles that are coming from statutory circumstances. It's that sort of thing that one is alluding to here. And of course, the final one is the authoritarian and economic transformation model. Some imagine this because it's been tested in some countries around the world. I'm thinking about, for example, Singapore is one country that took a very hard-fisted approach to political governance and was able to use that in order to bring about economic transformation. The question is this something that can fit in the context of our society? So it's like we lay out these 4 scenarios and basically say to people, let's talk about them. Which one you think might be best for the kind of Liberia that we would like to see down the road? Why don't I start?
They're here to hear from us. What do we think? What do we want? Based on the questions that we have on those sheets of papers that we have on our tables. And I think that calls that are going on around, everybody can hear. Well, thank you very much for recognizing me. And my name again is Arthur Zachary Jr. And a week ago, I was the national president of the Federation of Local Associations in America. And my question to you is, it's not really a question first. Today we are here for Vision 2030. A few years ago, Charles Taylor had a vision, I think, 2024. And I believe that vision is dead. And today we are seeing vision, we are hearing for Vision 2030. My question now is, the composition makeup of this body, it is because of this government projecting themselves to be in power for the next 18 years to drive the Vision 2030? Or, question, excuse me, it's not loud before? Okay. Or, if it is not, then the first concern that there are 2 concerns that I have. One is the composition makeup of this body, that if we have a national agenda that will be legislated, it should have a true representation of our various political parties. That's one. The second one is...
And the question you asked, really, I will take it as information and I'll write it down. So that's what we do. We've been around and there's been a lot of questions about Vision 2024 and other things, right? I'm not going to answer that. You talk about reconciliation. That's great. We've heard that everywhere we've went. So I will write that down as your concern. So when you bring those questions about, please, I'm not a politician. I'm a technical man. I will come and write your questions down, and we'll use those questions to inform the process. We'll come out of there and say, well, maybe the people in Minnesota and the people in Atlanta says reconciliation is key. That's one of the variables we'll use and put through. Or what happened to the other visions? How do we sustain this vision so that it doesn't die away? Or the question will be, is it for this government to last for 18 years? And we'll write it down and take it back, but we will not be able to answer these questions. I hope you understand that. This is a conversation.
So just a matter of clarification, again, it's not necessarily a question where you will come and ask a question and have the answer. They're here to pick information from us, so it could be a comment, it could be some type of clarification or some observation or a question too. Like you said, then we'll consider that question and information and we'll do the analysis that way. So let's take another table.
My question was, who is to be held accountable? Oh, hi everybody, good evening. My name is Denise Butler. And my question was, who is to be held accountable for implementation of the results of the AFT?
Very good. So we will take another one. You come up, you call your name, and then make a comment or ask a question. Yes, so Wilson.
Mine is not a question, it is a concern, and my name is Father James Wilson II, Episcopal priest. I serve in Liberia as rector of St. Thomas Episcopal Church, and currently I'm serving the Diocese of Episcopal Church in
Minnesota. Liberians in the diaspora. I'm Dr. J. Gibson Kipo. I worked for the Liberian government before the Civil War. I work for National Housing and Savings Bank. In Minnesota, I work.
My name is Felicia Jaffa. I am currently a board member of the Organization of Liberians in Minnesota, and I'm also a program administrator, advanced manager at the Opus Foundation.
He already introduced me. I'm Harris T. Man. I am a teacher by profession. I retired from the school district with the intent to go home and help Liberia. But my concern is the question of trust.